Ladies and gentlemen, we're finally here. Finally, it's time. Tournament finals, the $1,000 invitational finals. It's been a long time since I posted the semifinals. I was supposed to post this video 2 weeks ago, but I got really busy and it took forever. And you know what? Sometimes you just gotta drum up the hype a little bit. But I'm not alone. I got my boy Star Master here with me since, you know, he was here for the semifinals video, which you guys loved having him on as well. And I think it's always fun to have someone else to commentate with, especially because in this tournament, as I said before, this is a kind of an epic tournament. This is a partner tournament that we're playing in, this $1,000 invitational. So me and my boy Star, say what's good, bro.
What's good? Yeah, happy to be back.
You know my man's here. So me and Star, in this tournament, you have a partner. It was a regular pools bracket, and then we went to playoffs, which was started in, I think, top 64. Fine, we beat all the other rounds of playoffs. Semis, quarters is the ones I uploaded. Finally, we're here in the finals. Me and Star versus Aldi and Sigma, which I believe their Smogon usernames are Will of Fire, who I played before like 5 years ago, and Little Big Planet 2, which I've never played that player, but they've been around a very long time, since like Gen 6, Gen 7, so pretty familiar with these players as a whole. Was not surprised to see them in the finals or the playoffs. They also played some pretty strong opponents to get to here, and we were ready to go. It was finally finals time. You can see from the teams, these kind of look like some more, well, a little bit older. You could definitely see a team like this in the current metagame, but this replay is from January 7th. So what metagame was this? January 7th. Was anything, this was pre-DLC.
Yeah, we still played like the pre-DLC, even though, like pre-DLC.
Gliscor was banned. Like, Gliscor was banned, right?
Yeah, Gliscor was banned.
Okay.
Yeah, all that
Gliscor and Sneasler were banned, right? So the metagame we're playing, guys, because this was a little bit ago, January 7th. This was pre-Raging Bolt, Gouging Fire, and all that stuff. But, yep, we're finally here. Go watch the semis and the quarters videos if you guys haven't. Those are some amazing sets. Very high quality tournament content. And we have yet another just amazing down-to-the-wire set here for the finals. Very excited to narrate this. This should be a pretty lengthy video, I think, because these games are just pretty crazy. So I guess we can go over the first team, right? We are using a grassy terrain team as is our opponents. We honestly have like the same team, right? We have Samurai Dark type. They have Dirge Wincon over Lucha.
Yeah, and they have just Gambit and Dirge over R2.
So different dark type, and then they decided to go with Dirge so that they could have like, I guess, a better Valiant check and stuff. I particularly don't like Dirge offense. I don't think it's that good. I feel like it's trying to do too much. Our team, I think we took it from ZavGB, right? Was his team?
Yeah.
Yeah, so ZavGB is a very great builder and player in Generation 9. Shoutouts to him. I've used his team many times in tournament games before. If you guys remember that iconic team from this meta, it was the Milotic, Gliscor, Dragapult, Skeledirge balance. This is the most amazing team to me in Gen 9 so far, and the only team where I was like, how the fuck does Milotic work? But then Milotic was epic. But yeah, he's the creator of that team. He used this offense. I think he used it in his own tiebreaker game. And so we were like, let's just use this. It looks pretty strong. So let's go over the sets. You can see me showing right now? The sets?
Okay. Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so we had regular Glamora, guys. Max special attack, max speed, stealth rock, power gem, earth power, mortal spin. Very basic, right? This is just meant to be our lead. And we want to get the hazards up ASAP. Basically everything on our team sets up. And then we have some good support mons, double AV. This team is interesting. I'm not the biggest AV Samurai fan. I always think SD or boosting item is better, like Mystic Water or Black Glass, but you can't go wrong with AV. Do you remember how we decided to use this team? Because I think you suggested it, because I don't even remember this team.
Yeah, I think like we were a little lacking inspiration because, you know, we played the series like a month after the DLC 2 dropped.
True.
We were just trying to think of like, I don't know, like kind of no nonsense teams. And we kind of like the look of this one just because, like, you know, like the Italians that we're playing are like kind of known to use like weird offenses at times.
Rilla is like a staple from them too. They always have to rock a Rillaboom. So Lucha made sense for sure. I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, and we were just thinking like having like these two like kind of assault vest mons and like Rilla and Samurott, and also like the Encore Val, Encore Lucha, like all that kind of stuff like was kind of good in the offense versus when it wasn't Encore Lucha.
Yeah, it looks like we're Stone Edge Lucha.
Yeah, Stone.
I didn't even realize
but
that.
Yeah, but I guess it was like for Zapdos because that was popular at the time. But yeah, I guess we were trying to like use offense that was good into offense, so that was like the main thought.
Yeah, because the way we saw it is we can always win with offense, right? We know the interactions, we know how to get the plays right. Also, the last week we used what? The Garganical bulky offense, and then we just got hacked and then fucked up and lost. Yeah. And so I think we were mad tired of using, because we only have one style we ever use and win with in this tier up until this point, which was Ogerpon Fat. Otherwise, we were getting washed, I remember. So we were like, should we just bring another Ogerpon team? But then we were like, nah, let's keep going with offense. And yeah, this team that Zav Gmi made is pretty strong. The Golden Go, as you guys can see, is crazy. Grassy Seed gives you a defense boost. This has a good amount of HP SPDF, but then it's also modest, so you retain power. This is like one of those hacked EV spreads, you know, where it feels like you have like 700 EVs on this shit. That's what this gold feels like. But double AV, just so that, you know, you have the good water resists. You're good into sun as well, which you could see occasionally. Again, this was pre-DLC, so there was no Raging Bolt. There was no Gouging Fire. But yeah, that's basically the makeup of our team. Go for a win with some SD shit. Iron Val has Encore, so we're not that worried about Dirge regardless. And then most of our guys can pressure Dirge, even if it tears. So let's get right back into the battle. Also, guys, it's finally the finals. So we need to get 2,500 likes on this. My man Starmaster is finally back. He was on a busy trek, but he made time for the finals, all right? This is it, the $1,000 finals. We need to hit 2,500 likes by tomorrow. So make sure you like this video, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, should we go break down their team real quick, even though it's basically a mirror matchup? I mean, yeah, we know Gambit's a threat, and like Valiant's a threat for the most part, but everything else looked pretty decent. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was like mainly those two. We just had to keep like this Samurai we liked on preview because it like helps with the gold obviously, and also the Dirge, like just pressuring it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I felt like our gold was really good as well, since we get the plus defense and we're Terra Dragon. Like that flip is pretty annoying for him to deal with. So I was liking our,
like if we can
if
we can chip Gambit a couple times early, then yeah, gold could definitely just...
I wasn't sure what the Terra on Dirge was, but I was assuming it was going to be Water Terra, just because that looks like it would help his team a bit.
I was assuming it would be like something neutral-ish into gold.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, so lead matchup, guys. We had a pretty similar chances of what we'd lead, right? So Rilla lead is possible from both of us. Glim lead is obviously possible from both of us. And then we can also lead Samurott, because that's also a Hazardmon. It does lead well versus 4 of his 6 Pokemon. But what we were thinking about here is, okay, if a T-Spike goes up versus us, it's really fucking annoying, because we have 3 guys that are weak to T-Spikes, and our Val is pretty annoying. It would cut short its sweep. We also want to have Val as a Sucker Punch resist for Gambit and that kind of thing. So our mentality here was, okay, we need to keep our Glim safe, just in case they're able to get the T-Spikes up, because we trigger the Glimmera's Toxic Debris. So we wanted to play in a way where we keep our Glimmera in the back, so that we can bring it in after they lose their own Glimmera in case they get up T-Spikes. Because we know if T-Spike goes up versus us, it's going to be really hard for us to get the strategies that we want. Like if Samurott gets poisoned, it's going to be really hard for us to continuously check Dirge and Golden Go and that kind of thing. So I think we decided to lead off with Samurott as they decided to lead off with Rillaboom, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we led off with Samurott. I think we just wanted to catch the Glimmera, right?
Yeah, so like we wanted to be like, ideally we were hoping they would lead Glimmera into our Samurott, but
yeah,
like it was also just like an okay neutral lead, just because like we didn't want to lead Glim because, you know, we need that T-Spike absorber. So yeah.
Yeah, so we were thinking if they lead Glim and we lead Glim and they win the speed tie on the second turn and just kill us with Earth Power, it's not really the best trade for us, especially, oh, now I really remember, bro. It was because if we Earth Power and then on turn 2 they win the tie, we have no Mon that can revenge kill Glim that isn't a physical attack. So the T-Spike 100% goes up if we lose the second speed tie, and then we probably lose. Yeah. So that was what we were afraid of, guys. That we have no Mon that can hit this thing specially and not trigger Toxic Debris, and then also be faster because the team is too physically oriented. So we let off Samurott to stop that. They lead off with Rillaboom though, which I think was just them probably either calling a Sash Rot lead or knowing that they can trade into Glim just because Sludge Wave is not too used. They might have just thought the same thing as us.
Yeah, I think they maybe just wanted to keep their T-Spike
right. They thought the exact same thing as us, that they don't want their Glim to lose the speed tie, and then the same thing happens to them. Because up until this point, we didn't know if their gold was Scarf or anything like that, right? So in this situation, I think we decided to go for Ceaseless Edge. Why did we decide to go for this?
Because first of all, like we didn't think there was ever going to be like a Wood Hammer.
Yeah, we were pretty sure Wood Hammer wasn't coming into Glimmera or into our own Rilla. That's a pretty, like low reward play if we switch, right?
Yeah, and it's also like we'd seen like some of these things also be eject button before, so like on these kinds of teams because they like it as a pivot to just get a threat in.
Exactly.
And so yeah, like if they are eject button, they kind of have to go for glide, otherwise they're making no progress and getting ejected.
Yeah. Could have also very easily been assault vest too. Like Rilla choice band, it started going down in terms of how much it was being spammed as the weeks went on in this metagame. I remember because it used to only be banned Rilla, and then people started running AV. They started running like all types of shit. So over time, the shit switched up a little bit. But basically here, we were like, okay, we can take this trade. If we're faster with Samurott, we also get the spike up. And if we're able to get the spike up, their entire team is grounded. So we can at least, force some pressure. We also have our own goal to switch into Mortal Spin. So it's not like he automatically gets the spin off. So we were fine taking this trade here. And we have a shit ton of HP on our Samurott too. So we know as long as they're not Banded Ceaseless Edge or max speed, we should be good for this. So we go for the Ceaseless Edge turn 1 as they go for a Grassy Glide, but we fucking miss. Yes, now I remember this. It was quite tilting, lads, because you guys know how it goes with Samurott. Turn 1 Ceaseless Edge miss, you're already thinking in the back of your head, bro, I just lost. I already have the best excuse ever loaded up. I missed turn 1 Ceaseless. I couldn't recover. But anyways, so turn 1 we were like, fuck, this is so cheap. And then we instantly went into nerd mode and started figuring out how we salvage from this position. So what were we thinking from here? Now we know that their Rillaboom is some bulky shit. Grassy Glide turn 1 is a scared ass play. We know they're not banded as well. So we were pretty certain that they would glide again, right?
Yeah. We were pretty certain they glide again, given that they'd obviously clicked a turn 1 and it's kind of just a neutral play for them, like no real like major downside.
Right, there's no major downside. They lost nothing from turn 1 and gained everything. From their position, they could think, oh shit, what if they were Sash Samurai and we just broke the Sash? They could be thinking like, oh, well, they just lost 75% of their Samurai. Surely this doesn't check gold or dirge anymore. Maybe they'll just sack it so they can get the free Glim after. But we didn't want to sack this. In offense versus offense, it's very important that you keep your Pokemon unless you have some like extremely brutal setup sweeper that can like come back and kill everything. But Roaring Moon wasn't allowed in this, and there was no Sneasler or anything, so really they had no reason not to Grassy Glide. Also, when they have Gold, Sash, Glim, and Skeledirge in the back, it's not like we can go hard into what's his name, Hawlucha here, and get anything started, right? So we end up switching out here. We bring in our Rillaboom. Yes, so we bring in our Rillaboom. We're pretty confident they'll Grassy Glide. Woodhammer is not happening. Worst case scenario is they go for a U-turn, but even then, we're very sure U-turn won't happen because, like Star was just saying, they Grassy Glide at turn 1 and we didn't even get off our attack. From their perspective, it's like, holy shit, let's limit this spike from ever going up, and then we'll probably just be able to smoothly like autopilot from there. So we bring in our own Rilla. This is some max HP assault vest nonsense as they Grassy Glide. And now here we reveal their item by going for U-turn, and they are eject button. So pretty good trade for them, right? Because they're able to bring in their Glim without losing the Sash. Stealth Rock goes up. We Wood Hammer for 91%. This is us reading them to go for rocks. And also because like they're not going to be Sludge Wave, right? You never really see that.
Yeah. And also we live Sludge Wave because...
Oh yeah, true. We do live. We might have died with Recoil if they're max special attack, but regardless, that was a worthwhile trade for us to take. Rocks up is annoying, but we can still Mortal Spin that shit away. And if they choose to attack us, at least our Glamora Sash is still intact, which is the way we saw it. So we Wood Hammer there.
Yeah.
Oh, we make a great play here. We make a great play here on turn 5. So our Rillaboom starts going on like a kind of like a mini sweep. We U-turn on their own for 47, then we Wood Hammer. Now here, we know for a fact if we Grassy Glide the Glim, they die. We get the easiest switch into our own Glim to absorb the T-Spikes, probably get the Mortal Spin off too, and they just kind of wasted their Glim. So we know for sure Glim won't get sacked here, because we can also get T-Spikes up in reverse and beat them. So we go for the U-turn here, predicting the Rilla, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we predicted the Rilla.
Like not necessarily
well,
Rilla.
Not necessarily the Rilla, but we knew some switch type shit was happening. There was no Glim staying in. Yeah. So that worked out really well. Now we get our own free switch into Glim, which is perfect. I think we take rocks. Right? Yep, because terrain's gone.
Yeah, we just get rocks.
Yeah. They Wood Hammer. Does an absolute shit ton to us. They're max attack adamant. Yeah. But, yep, we end up putting the T-Spike up, and we hit the Val, which is great, because that was the only mon we could have hit.
Thing,
right? Yeah, because it's Boots Dirge. So when they went Val, that was pretty great. But they actually don't have anyone they can go to, right? They go Gambit.
Yeah, like
then
nothing's faster.
That's a 50-50 too, with Sucker Punch and whatnot. So they bring in this. So here we go Rillaboom first. We don't want to sack our Glimmora just yet. The way we saw it, Glimmora Earth Power destroys every mon besides Val. And our Glim also outspeeds everybody. There's no reason to throw out our Glim. It might be nice into Dirge or Golden Go later. Rillaboom, on the other hand, is pretty much shit. We don't have a low kick, do we? Let me check. Woodhammer, Grassy Glide, knockoff, U-turn. So we're walled by Dirge. We're walled by Gold if it's Seed. And then we're also walled by Gambit. So we figured Rilla is like pretty damn expendable, all things considered.
Yeah, like the only thing it really does is it can glide Valiant.
Right?
So.
Yeah, and Val's already on a timer thanks to our poison. So we're not too worried about it. Plus we got Lucha. So we go into Rilla first. Like we said, we could go hard Gold, but if they SD and then like knockoff, it's whatever. Plus, if we go Rilla and they SD,
like really any setup would suck.
Yeah, I think also we thought if they SD as we go Rilla, even though I mean it's a hard play to make because we're a fucking Glim. But if they did do some crazy setup shit, I think also Calm Mind. Calm Mind Rilla completely beats that. And then if they SD, which obviously more rare, but if they did SD, we could just sack Glim back and then go to Acro Guy and get out of this situation, right?
Rilla was just like kind of the safe cover all.
Safe covers all. If they want to make an offensive like try hard play, then this will cover it. But if they want to make the more reactive play, then we're not too worried. But so far, after turn 1, every play has kind of gone our way for the most part. So Val comes in here. We bring in Rilla. Because we're AV, Moonblast only does 36, which is nice. That goes to show that they're max special attack as well. That did too much. But we're not going to sack Rilla. There's no reason to. Plus, we want to be able to activate the seeds on our Lucha later on. Gold comes in here on the next Moonblast. We know that they're not going to Calm Mind on our Rilla at 36 because it's unlikely that we'll keep it. But no, we keep it. So we owned them there. Glim comes in. We just kill it with Shadow Ball, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Goes hard into Glim. Thought they'd go Gambit, but I guess not.
Yeah, we were just happy to take chip on Gambit, but
yeah, after we showed Seed, I thought it was pretty obvious we were some bulky shit. But to be honest, Gold can do anything, right? So I don't blame them for going hard Gold. We're running an HO team. This could very well be like, you know, Terra Fairy Dazzle or Focus Blast or whatever.
Glim wasn't that useful to them anymore, so
nah, for sure. They just had to get rid of the T-Spike at that point. Here we go, Lucha as they sucker. We've really definitely predicted them to SD or Katao. But either way, Lucha was the best switch in because Lucha's usefulness is pretty much like whatever. It checks Gambit, Val is boosted out and then on a timer, and then the other two ghost types beat Lucha. So we didn't really see Lucha being that amazing as a sweeper, but we knew we could kind of use it as a defensive pivot into the Gambit. But them going for Sucker here is great because, I mean, they didn't get any damage whatsoever on us. And now we know for sure that Hawlucha scares them out and Encore is very, you know, possible from us. So we're going to make the double into Samurott because we know they're not going to stay in. This is the best play for us going into Samurott. We know one of the ghosts is coming in. When you see a Hawlucha, you're always going to go into Gold or Dirge, right? Those are the counters. And we are what? Terra Flying? What were we?
Yeah, we were Terra Flying.
Terra Flying, 3 attack. Yeah, so, I mean, I personally don't think Terra Flying is good. I don't even think Hawlucha is good, to be honest with you. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like, it's pretty mediocre, but it kind of serves its purpose as, like, you know, kind of just a revenger on offense.
Right,
like,
yeah.
How to lose to things.
It's also just nice to troll Gambit and then Encore. It's like having another Val. I mean, we're not Encore, but you know what I mean. But yeah, we're not Encore in this game, but we know we can kind of bluff the Encore. And also just, if they stay in with Gambit there, they have to Terra as well. And if they were to Terra Fairy or Terra Flying and then get Encored, they lose. And I know they know that if they do that, it's like a position you can't recover from. So because of that reason, we decided to make the double into Samurott. They go into Gold, and this is perfect. Because if Gold doesn't have T-Bolt, Focus Blast, or Shadow Ball, it's not going to be able to kill us with any attack, I'm pretty sure. Because we're Assault Vest. And now you guys see from the Grassy, we're also faster, right? This surprised me, honestly. I thought their Gold would be fast, but they're, I think they're pretty slow.
Yeah, our Samurott doesn't even have that much speed because we're also AV.
Yeah, we only hit 245, so they were fully HP invested for the most part then. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Samurott's naturally faster than Gold, right?
Yeah. But it was just like also with that or Gold.
Yeah. But we go for Ceaseless here. It's obviously our best play in the Gold. We thought about possibly Razor Shelling into Gambit or Val, but in the end, it's like if we put the spike up, we're already putting good pressure on Gold and Gambit over the course of the game, and we're up 6-4. We never lost any Pokemon. We have a bunch of Pokemon at low HP, most of our Pokemon, but it's not the end of the world. We Ceaseless here into Val, which is great chip. We do 14 plus 12 Toxic, and we get that Spike up. We switch into our Golden Go here because this guy has kind of outlived its usefulness. Also, we knew if they were mix, that Knock won't kill us because we've already consumed our Grassy Seed. Yeah. But they revealed to be Destiny Bond 3, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Which is pretty...
So they just take that trade.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And we wanted that trade because our Gold's not even good versus the last 3 Pokemon. It would have been worse for us to end up just staying out there, I think. Because then Gambit would have came in for the free setup or some shit.
Given free turns to
yeah. That D-Bond actually, I think it helped us a lot. But from their perspective, they were still like, what if the Gold has Focus Blast or, you know, whatever the fuck they might have been worried about. But so far, so good. We finally lose our first Pokemon, but we've taken rid of 3. It's Rocks. Glim spinning is probably not going to happen in this game because we don't really prioritize spinning as much as we prioritize just Earth powering one of these. But we knew for a fact that Gambit is coming in here on turn 14. That's 100%. Because if we go Glim on one of the Ghosts, they lose, right? Gold ends up taking 60, 70. Yeah, and Dirge gets Power Gem to the fucking face. Also, Samurott can come in. It's really just math, guys. They have 2 guys that lose to Glim and Samurott and 1 guy that beats those. Meanwhile, we have 1 Hawlucha that beats King Gambit. It's like kind of rock, paper, scissors, but we read their life. We know Gambit's going to come in here because they don't want Glim or Samurott to come in. So we go into our Lucha here. So we get the double down play correct, knowing they're going to choose Gambit over the Ghost types. This is even better for us because we got that Spike up. That's where that Ceaseless really helped. Because Gambit continues to take chip. And that's nice. Because our, what's it called? Our Val doesn't have a CC. It's Spirit Break. So we need some chip for Gambit to be KOable. But yeah. So now we double out our Hawlucha into our Samurott one final time. Because we know from their perspective, either Gambit is going to just Terra here, or they're going to go right back into the Ghosts. But we were pretty sure the Ghosts were coming in. So we go into Samurott. This was a tough play, I'm not going to lie.
This was pretty
this was tough. Here we go for Razor Shell, expecting them to click Terra Fairy or to go back into Gambit. That worked out. And then here, come on, man. Come on, man! You know what we on. Man, there's no way this Samurott got hit by Grassy turn 1, missed, and then proceeded to kill every Pokemon. They turn Dragon here, we predict a Terra, and we go for Razor Shell, but we definitely didn't expect no Dragon Terra. When Dragon Terra came out, we were like, what the fuck? But we get the defense drop, which is cool, but at this point, the game is done no matter what. Ceaseless does 58, meaning it would have done about 40 otherwise. But, I mean, we can just go into our Val after and kill them. They also revealed to be Life Orb defensive. Yeah. This is Life Orb Bold or something, which is so confusing, but whatever works. But at that point, it's just too tough for them. We have our Val. We can just come in and click Knockoff onto Dirge. Dirge reveals to be Fizz Def, but we just spam Knockoff. We do have Encore as well. They just can't get out of this position. We still have Glamora. Power Gem would sweep through the remaining guys. It's going to be that. So they go back into Gold, sack it, Dirge. We knock it off, and then they forfeit, and that is going to be game 1. So honestly, close game, but we were very in control from the beginning. I think this was probably our best Gen 9 played game of this tournament, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. I think everything went our way after turn 1 miss. Like, we really had it all kind of set what to do.
Got the turns right.
Yeah, that's really how it goes in HO versus HO, because you can be on the bad receiving end too if one of your plays don't work. Like on turn 2, if they U-turn here, it's automatically like a much more difficult situation, right? Yeah, because we didn't get anything started. So, no, we definitely prioritized the right things in this game, and then we were feeling pretty good because we took the 1-0 lead. We always be throwing the Gen 9 game, so for us to play good and then win, we were feeling good. And, yeah, I mean, team worked out really well, too, so shout out to Zav GB. We're up 1-0 in the $1,000 Invitational. That's right. One more to go. Next up, Generation 8. Let's cook. Alright, so guys, here we are with the Generation 8 battle, Game 2. As you guys just saw, we played Gen 9. We were up 1-0 now after we won that pretty close game. Gen 9, here we come. So if you're looking at the matchup, we got a pretty offensive team. They also have a pretty decent, bulky offensive team. They have a Coolmon on their team, though, Primarina. So Coolmon has been spotted because you don't really see Primarina like that in Generation 8. It's definitely like viable, but it's not something you ever really see. I mean, it's a strong fairy type, right? 126 special attack, so you can't go wrong. and then they have grassy terrain as well, which heals it. When we were looking at the preview, I wasn't sure what to expect. I was thinking it was Specs, but Star, you were like, it's going to be Calm Mind. And then it ends up being Calm Mind in this battle as well. But, yeah, when it came out, I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, when I saw it in preview, I really wasn't sure what to expect at first.
Some, like, fishy, like, sub-CM kind of thing.
But if you're looking at our team, we have a Weavile, and we have a Buzzwole, Heatran, all this stuff. And so it's like, damn, Primarina is actually a pretty great pick into us, all things considered. So that was pretty cool. They have grassy terrain as well, which isn't too bad for us, seeing as we have a lot of grounded Pokemon, and it definitely helps our Heatran as well. The team we're using is a team. Who do we take this from?
I think we took it from like a Tricking replay.
Yeah, you're right. So Tricking, who is we played him in the top 16. I think it was the. Oh no, maybe it was the quarterfinals that I posted. Yeah, the quarterfinals. We played him. They used this team in the top 16. So we went in their replays and we saw their games when we were thinking, oh, what to use versus them. And I was telling Star, I'm like, I like that team. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like a very just basic, decent offense from what you guys can see. There's Landorus, Rotom, Volturn, Heatran, you know, so you have your good like little ghost check plus rocks. Buzzwole, you guys know I love Buzzwole. That thing. I mean, we used a good amount of Buzzwole so far in this tournament, right? In Gen 8.
Yeah.
We've been,
like one of those
we're big Buzzwole fans, dude, because everybody loves to bring Weavile and Garchomp and think they're gonna make the best play ever and SD on the Switch and sweep. No, you're never sweeping Buzzwole.
Yeah, and there's so much like Rilla, Cart, Weavile.
So much,
like,
yeah.
Like, everything is like that.
In tournament, people are addicted to Cart because it's the most just one-click win Pokemon. Our team does lack immediate power. It has SD Weavile, defensive Buzzwole, and Calm Mind Lele, so we don't have Banded Weavile or Specs Lele, which is something we could have had for more, like, you know, immediate breaking. But all things considered, nothing looks too terrible, barring the Primarina. The Primarina's annoying. We also know that it's going to be pretty hard for our Buzzwole not to get knocked off, seeing as Weavile and Rillaboom are on the team, and we're going to have to go Buzzwole into those, but we know we definitely have the tools to beat the team. I was pretty worried at the preview. You know what I was worried about? Trick Black Sludge Slowking G. Because that's such an easy set to run in grassy terrain, you know? Since you can just trick the ground type every time. So that was something that I was definitely worried about. But other than that, we basically did have the tools to kind of break through this team. I mean, Lele, Side Shock, Moonblast, Focus Blast. We just need to keep rocks up, right?
Yeah, I think the main problem was still like the Primarina, because like setup sets are ultra dangerous.
Yeah, Primarina is definitely the biggest threat to our team because we have nothing to even really damage it, right? It walls Buzzwole completely.
Yeah, it walls
Weavile
like
completely. Landorus in terrain is doing like 25 with EQ. Rotom Volt Switch does 40. When we were looking at this, we were thinking our best thing to do is have Heatran because we can Heavy Slam and Toxic it, and Surf is not a 2-hit KO unless they're boosted. So all that being said, from preview we were thinking they're likely to lead off with something that's good into Lele. So I think we were considering them to lead off with either Slowking G, Rillaboom, or Protect Garchomp. So we ended up picking Landorus T, as they do end up leading Rillaboom, which is great. Our Landorus T is especially defensive, but regardless, we got the Intimidate, right? So this U-turn is damn free for us. We're Defog, Toxic, Earthquake, U-turn, right?
Yeah. No Stealth Rock.
Just classic Spadef Landorus. You guys have seen this set a bunch of times if you guys have played Gen A OU back in the day, and even now. This is just, you know, the all-purpose check Shadow Ball from Dragapult, still take 40, and if you get Spadef dropped, you lose, but it is what it is. Landorus T, they go into Garchomp as we U-turn. It does 19%, which tells us immediately that it's HP invested, and they're not Helmet, which means that they're going to be leftovers. Spadef, Stealth Rock, Garchomp, this is the same shit every single time. What do we click here? Calm Mind?
Yeah.
We Calm Mind immediately, right? But they go hard Rillaboom, which is a good play.
Yeah, we were trying to like catch a mid-ground of like
Corv or Corv, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But then they went to Rilla, so it's
Rilla's kind of frustrated, yeah. So the Rilla lead, we weren't sure what to expect, but we didn't want to stay in and die. Well, it's pretty likely. Well, here it was like, fuck, they're not gonna. We were pretty sure they wouldn't Grassy Glide, just because we have the Buzzwole. But it's still a tough turn because it's early on in the game, and we have to feel out the situation. So I think on this, like after this Calm Mind, I think I wanted to attack, but we don't kill anyways. But
yeah, so like
it was like a tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't do that much, and also like this Lele is our main way of like revenging Primarina
That
and stuff
Primarina's
because
such a
it's our only
bitch.
strong hit. In
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Otherwise, we don't have a strong attack for that Primarina. We need it. So them going Rilla was good for them because they scout out our set as well. And they know that even if the worst case scenario for them is that we're Specs, and even then Rillaboom would live. So we go for Calm Mind. Here we switch out into Heatran as they go for a knockoff. So we probably should have brought in... Well, we're Flame Body, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flame Body.
So we were trying to fish for the burn there, thinking, okay, if they go for Grassy Glider U-turn, we're going to be able to go and fish for burn. We don't get it, but it's whatever. Buzzwole we didn't want to bring in because U-turn could have happened into whatever, Slowking G or Primarina. And either way, Heatran knocking off, I mean, getting knocked off definitely sucked on this turn.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Grassy kind of heals us, and the Flame Body Fish made it worth it, I think.
Yeah, and also it's like our main kind of progress maker here.
Yeah,
because,
we
you know,
need to get rocks
our
up.
pulse
Yeah,
up
nah,
and
literally,
stuff.
we need to get rocks up. Otherwise, this team is scary. So they bring in Garchomp immediately as we go for a Toxic, literally just predicting the Garchomp to come in. Them going Primarina was pretty unlikely, but if they wanted to make some like insanely greedy play, we would obviously benefit from that. And then they're not going to go into Slowking G because it's not going to be Earthquake Slowking G on this type of team.
And it's terrain, so
Yeah, right.
yeah.
So they bring in Garchomp, and we're like, okay, Spadef Garchomp just came in. They're gonna go for rocks, or they're gonna go for toxic, seeing as we have a Landorus, Rotom, and all that shit. So we decided to just make a really aggressive play and stay in and go for Stealth Rock, and that works out good for us. We did toxic the Garchomp, but because of lefties and terrain, it's kind of just healing it all back. But at least our Heatran is also taking advantage of the terrain, so can't complain either way. Alright, so here we stay in on toxic because we're really like that. We're just really like that. That was an amazing play. We predict them to make some try hard ass play. And we decide to stay in and go for Magma Storm so that we can start chipping away at this Garchomp. But, of course, just like we missed that Ceaseless in the first game, we get to start the game off with a nice Magma. So, even though our Heatran makes Lord plays and counters Ground type, it's not enough. Now here we decide that, you know what, they're going to try hard again. We're going to Magma again. But then they reveal it's fucking Scorching Sands. And then I remember when we were watching this, we couldn't stop laughing because we're like, dude, what's going on? We made a crazy play staying in, but we were like, dude, no one's going to Earthquake again when they're toxic. Either way, this is a fine trade for us because we're going to be able to Magma Storm and basically get rid of this Garchomp. But no, we missed the second Magma Storm, so obviously some bullshit is happening and we get hacked. So
Yeah.
Heatran, whatever. We have to switch out here. We bring in Landorus T. They go for Scorching Sands again, so Garchomp ends up at 30%. I mean 40%. It takes another 30.
Yeah.
But that's pretty good for us. So here I think we were deciding, do we want to keep rocks off or do we want to keep rocks on? And then I think we decided overall we want to keep them up, right?
Yeah, so like I mean long term we need them up. So like because it's really our only way to like kind of make progress otherwise.
Yeah, we can't make
because
progress
we don't do much
whatsoever.
damage.
Because if rocks go off, then G-King and Corv are going to wall everybody. So we go for a Volt Switch as G-King comes in. We do 18%. Reveals it's not Boots. I mean, sorry, not Boots. Assault Vest. It's probably just like Trick. I still think it was Trick Black Sludge.
Yeah, it could have been.
Knock off into Corviknight there as we get our Weave Out in. That was nice. We're able to kind of force some progress. As long as we keep rocks up, we know Weave Out could force something. We're just going to have to make some plays. So we do that. We bring in Rotom Wash here because Corviknight is forced to roost after getting its leftovers knocked off. But that's good because now Corv can't stay at full forever. We go for Hydro Pump here, or do we go for
No,
Volt
we
Switch?
evolved again.
Nice, nice, nice. So we Volt Switch here, knowing they're not going to want to sack their Garchomp just yet. We're able to bring in Weave Out. We double switch out this turn. I remember that because the Corviknight is guaranteed
like
here.
Rotom.
Even though rocks are up and our Rotom's getting chipped a little bit each time, leftovers does negate part of the damage, and we just want to
And he
keep this
doesn't have
Corv. Yeah, yeah. Now that we knocked him, we got him low. Okay, they go Rilla here. That was a good play by them. If we Wisp, that would have been tough, but we definitely couldn't Wisp into Slowking because we were still afraid of Slowking doing that trick bullshit, right?
Yeah, and also just like wisping into Garchomp is a no progress play also.
Yeah, true. Garchomp coming in on Rotom would be bad because we don't have a switch into Toxic. Any of our guys getting Toxic is kind of a death sentence because, as you guys can see, it's turn 15 and we each still have 6 Mons. Like, this game is going to go like a little longer. So we're bringing Landorus T here on the Rillaboom because we know we can pressure with U-turn and they don't have a good switch in, right? Prima comes in and we calc the U-turn here, and that reveals that the Primarina is defensive, which is definitely annoying. We bring in our Lele here just to cancel out the terrain. We have chipped Primarina now, which is nice. But this thing is definitely annoying. But yeah, now we have Lele in. I think we side shock on the switch, right?
No, we see him again.
No, we side shock
Right.
on the
Oh,
switch.
yeah, sure, no,
Yeah, yeah. If we see him, that would have been better. But we side shocked that turn, and that worked out. Now here they go into Rillaboom, and I think we fucking see him.
Yeah, this time we see him.
No. Rillaboom comes in. Now here we just take the damage as they go for Glide, but we take too much, and then Moonblast doesn't kill. I thought Moonblast was gonna be a roll in our favor, but it didn't end up killing, which was tough.
Yeah, it was like a really fat Rillaboom. I think this was like kind of our main mistake.
That was definitely our main mistake, staying in there. We should have just switched and tried again later.
Yeah, we should have just attacked first of all, and then
Yeah, I think we definitely fucked up by calm minding. It was better to just attack for sure. Yeah, I agree. Because then we could have got the chip, and then we could have forced something by killing Rillaboom, or we could have just switched. But that was definitely our main progress maker. But anyways, Lele takes a hit, Rillaboom gets low, but rocks are up, so at least we can limit that thing. Primarina comes in here. We go for CC just to kind of scout how much damage it does. But even though Vilgax is strong as fuck, we're not adamant max attack. We're literally defensive as shit. So Primarina takes nothing. We bring in Rotom here as Draining Kiss, the cheapest move in history, comes out, and then Primarina fucking heals all of it off. Dude, this shit is so cheap. Goes back to 89%. Here we predict the Garchomp to come in and Hydro, just because Slowking can't come in regardless. I mean, nothing can actually come in on Hydro, so the Hydro is free no matter what. Rillaboom comes in here as we go into Heatran. We expected Toxic as they go into Rilla. Now here we thought that, what's it called? We were fine because they were leftovers. So we figured they'd be Drain Punch or something, and then we'd be able to just take it and pressure back with Magma Storm. But unfortunately for us, they are superpower. You don't really see Lefty superpower as much. I think usually you see Drain Punch, but it's not like superpower doesn't exist. It's like half and half, to be honest.
Yeah,
but we kind of just discounted the idea of that happening.
I think
that was
we
kind of a
also just felt
mistake.
kind of behind and thought like.
Yeah, that's true. After the Magma Storms too missing and shit, because if we kill their Chomp right there with the Magma Storms, then we can insta default, get our own rocks up, and the game is a lot easier, you know?
And also Rotom has free turns every time.
Yeah, free Volt Switch every single time. So I think at that point we just fell behind. So we were like, if they go for Drain Punch, then, well, I mean, or if they don't have superpower, then we'll be able to capitalize on this situation and pressure back. But we end up losing our thing. No Flame Body, obviously. And Rillaboom kills us. We bring in Weavile here because we need to bring in something to go for the pressure play. We double into Rotom since Primarina is a complete counter, or Corviknight is a complete counter to our Weavile. Rotom is in here. We click Hydro Pump and miss, but they go for Roost, so it doesn't really make a difference regardless. We Volt Switch out here, do 41%. I don't know if that's Spadef. It's not, right?
It has. I think it has a little.
A little bit, right? Because 41 did seem kind of low, but I just figured maybe it was a like super min roll. Buzzwole comes in here as they go for a U-turn. We went in the Buzzwole just because we knew they would U-turn, and if we go to anything besides Buzzwole on U-turn, well, first of all, we can't go into Lele or Weavile because those will die, and if we go Landorus, then Weavile's just gonna come in. So we went in the Buzzwole. Either way, Primarina's cheap ass comes back in, and we're like, no, not again. So here we go Landorus T, because we're like, okay, this thing is just a threat. We decide to go for Earthquake because we want to be able to do the most amount of damage to it, and it only does 40%, which is so fucked up, dude. That was disgusting damage, right?
Yeah, but at least it's like layer range. It was like
So now we got it in a range where Psyshock can at least do enough. Corviknight comes in here to sponge the Psyshock. We're Twisted Spoon, so we do... Oh, no, we go for Moonblast, actually. Oh, maybe we, in case they did some crazy shit like Weavile, but they're never going Weavile.
Yeah, we were trying to like catch chokes.
Yeah, we were going for a choke at that point because we're down like such a hefty amount. Anyways, next turn we go for Focus Blast, knock out the core. Fortunately, we hit there. Weavile comes in. We save our Lele just because, you know, we're down. We can't really afford to lose any more Pokemon than we already have.
We need that Psyshock.
Yeah, like, Buzzwole finally gets knocked off. Leech Life is free here. We know they're not going to go hard Prima just because it's going to be at 48. Yeah. Now Prima comes in, Draining Kiss, cheap ass move, is back here to heal them up. They do go for it into Rotom, get back to about 69% after leftovers. We're free to go for a Volt Switch again, I think. What did we click for? Yeah, so we Volt Switch, and And then we're going to bring in Tapu Lele, seeing as now we cancel out the terrain. We're going to be able to just click Psyshock and force our kill. So now, we were just down 6-4, but now the score is 4-3, so we're able to kind of reposition. However, everything is really low. Rocks are up, and that Primarina is still healthy enough. Plus, they are going to win the terrain war at this point. Grassy Glide is confirmed from them, just because if they don't Grassy Glide, then they sacked their Rilla for no reason, so that's not going to happen. So we go hard to our Buzzwole, right? Just so that we can have the Lele sack for later. Oh, this was a good play. So we double into Rotom here, knowing that they won't sack their Rilla, right? That they're going to go Prima. Yeah. Because they can't sack the Rilla there. That'll, like, lose them. Because Prima, we could Volt Switch on Prima twice then. So in comes Weavile here as we just Volt Switch out again. So, yeah, that double, we had to make that double. Right? Yeah. So if we don't make that double, we for sure lose. So we Grassy Glide, then we double into Rotom here. Yeah, because if we Roost there, Prima comes in, Draining Kisses, gets back to 100, and insta sweeps. So we have to make the double to Rotom. So we pull that off. They realize that they have to switch out immediately, go into Weavile. They don't want to bring in Rilla, because I guess that would let our Weavile come in, which makes sense. As we bring in Buzzwole again. What do they end up doing? Going to Prima. Now here we fucked up, I think. We had to double to Rotom again. But we went for CC. Just thinking, all right, we'll do enough damage. But nah, we had to go to Rotom again, for sure.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we definitely had to go to Rotom.
Now we lose that sack. And
now we lose that sack. But if we went to Rotom there, we would have had the extra sack again. We go bring in Rotom here. We know they're not going to stay in, so we go for a Hydro Pump, knowing that it's going to kill either the Weavile or the Rillaboom. We Hydro Pump there, knock it out, get a crit, but that didn't matter. It dies anyway. In comes Weavile. Here they go for triple Axle, which was crazy.
Yeah, that shit made no sense.
Shit made no sense. If they missed that, they lost. Yeah, if they missed that, they lose. We bring a Weavile here. We go for SD, I believe.
Yeah, it's our only play.
Yeah, we go for SD since that's our only play. They identify that going to Primarina there. As we go for a triple Axle, but it only does like 45, and then Draining Kiss does quite a bit back. And so then we go for our final triple Axle. The following turn, and I mean we would need like a crit on one of the hits, but we miss anyways.
Yeah, we need like the last turn.
Yeah, and then we die, and then Buzzwole comes in, and it's not gonna able to kill, and then we're gonna die. So very close 48 turn game, but we end up losing that one, and the score is 1-1. Tough game. I think the biggest regret was definitely keeping the Lele in. But I think if we hit the Magmas, either of the Magmas, I'm pretty sure we just won the game. Like,
yeah, because like we keep rocks and
we insta defog with Landorus, and then our Rotom 6-0s because we literally just killed everything with Rotom, but we had to take rocks every time.
And also like Lele is much easier to use if it's not rocks,
they insta sacked their Chomp to our Heatran Toxic Magma, and then we got punished for it. I feel like if we hit either Magma, it was a much cleaner like situation for us because the shit's gonna be at like 2%. And that's assuming we missed the first one, not the second one. So, whatever though. So, that's how it goes. We definitely could have done some stuff in the end, like double the Rotom, but I felt like we were playing from the back, like the majority of the game. Like, we had to make a shit ton of plays. But, credits to them. They kept Primarina healthy. They identified the win con and didn't really falter from the Primarina endgame. So, we end up losing that one. Tough match. But we didn't play too poorly, so we weren't feeling too bad about it. It's not like we made some crazy misplay and went out sad, so we were confident in that. I didn't actually show the import for this one, I forgot, but we can go ahead and move on to Generation 7. So 1-1 guys, moving on to Gen 7, the final game of the $1,000 tour. So as you can see from our team, you see it's game 3, so you already know we had to bring out the boss techs. We have the Chansey, we have the Slowbro, Old Faithful, Gliscor, super classic. You like Gliscor more in Gen 6 or Gen 7? What do you like it more in?
7 for sure.
Nah, your ass. I like it more in Gen 6.
It's crazy. Dude.
Yeah, he's cheap. He's cheap in Gen. He's so cheap in Gen 7 though. It's because everyone's bad in Gen 7 now and only uses like super bulky mons. Gliscor comes in SD facade. Anyways, we're using this team. We didn't make this. We stole it from Sky Penguin, who is a Gen 7 battler who always makes these very creative teams. And then we saw this team. He used it before in tiebreaker, but he lost. But he should have won the game. He threw the game, but he should have won. I remember. And I remember I saw this team, and I'm like, this is a fire team. Except when I bring my Scizor out, and I 6-0 you after an SD. Anyways, Cool team.
That's a Charizard, relax.
Nah, I get rocks up. I double 2 times. You just lose. This team gets fucked up by by that shit. What's it called? But yeah, so we took this team. I have the import right here, actually, guys. So it is a, what is this? Swords Dance, Flare Blitz, Dragon Claw, Roost, Charizard. Sorry that it's so zoomed in, guys. The EVs on the Charizard are just max, jolly. Ferrothorn, Stealth Rock, Power Whip, Knockoff, Leech Seed. Very specially defensive is what we went with. Gliscor, also Spadef, but it's U-turn, Defog, Roost. This is just meant to keep the hazards off. Coco, Calm Mind, Max, Z Fairy, so we have a win con alongside Charizard. Slowbro is Colbur counter. I've never used this, but that's just what he had, so we decided to keep it. And I mean, it made sense, especially just because Weavile is annoying in general in these games. Also, if we play something random like Choice Band Tyranitar, we can get the counter off. And then finally, we have Chansey in the back with Seismic Toss, Skill Swap, Toxic, just a whole lot of bullshit. So, yeah, that's really it. We got some Chansey offense for the final game. You know what we're on. Opponent side, they have brought Sticky Web. Now, Sticky Web is not the most common in Gen 8, but it's common enough, right? Like, you see it occasionally.
Yeah, it's like pretty rare, but it's not like unheard of.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that, like, if you see it, you'll be like, ah, okay. You'll never be like, holy shit, I cannot believe it. But so when we saw it, we were like, okay. Manaphy is annoying in Gen 7. I don't think it's that great out of, you know, Rain, but with webs up, it's definitely gonna be annoying, especially because our Coco has a great matchup versus them, but we need to be able to keep the web off. Good thing is we do have a Gliscor. They do have Bisharp, which is their way of, you know, punishing Defog, but it's not the worst for us. Honestly, when I was looking at the matchup, I was like, this does look pretty tough because, I mean, they just have a lot of annoying shit. SD Garchomp can break a lot of holes through our team. Heatran's very annoying if it's the rocker. Taunt Serp, SD Bisharp. What were you thinking when you saw the matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was like pretty doable if we can position the Coco correctly, because like he doesn't have much for like Z Coco if we can get a CM up basically outside of webs.
Thanks.
So yeah, basically if we could get Defog off as soon as possible, like the end game should end game matchup seemed okay. Like we just couldn't like basically lose too much of our mons before we get the webs off. But, yeah.
Agreed. Okay, so I believe in this game, guys, we decided we're going to lead off with Tapu Koko because the possible leads are really just Ribombee. And then if they did want to lead off with something like Superior or Heatran, we can figure it out from there. I think if they led off with Serp, we would just Calm Mind and then kill it with Z or something like that if, you know, something crazy like that happened. But we were pretty sure Ribombee was just going to be the lead. What else are you going to do with a team like this? So we lead off with Tapu Koko as they lead off with Heatran, though. So them leading off with Heatran told us that this is probably Roxtran, right? And they just want to, you know, get off to a good start. But we can't stay in here. And we went to Gliscor. Yeah. So we go Gliscor because we wanted to activate the Toxic Orb immediately. And I think we just expected them to go for what? Fire move or rocks or whatever. Could be Earth Power. We just knew that this was pretty free, right?
Yeah, like we needed to just activate the orb immediately. Yeah.
Okay, but them going for Flamethrower, them having Flamethrower was like the biggest red flag that this Heatran was on some bullshit. We knew when we saw Flamethrower that they were doing some Heatran offensive LARP, but then Flamethrower also did no damage, so we couldn't really tell what was going on.
Yeah, we figured like it was clearly like a rocks like lead kind of mod.
Yeah, it was definitely some rocks offensive shit. If they had Lava Plume or Magma, we would have been more inclined to stay in, just because it would have given off the facade of being a regular Heatran. But them having Flamethrower, the move that does no secondary effect, and Flamethrower I feel like was a self-sabotage by them, because we're gonna U-turn here, because we're scared of this Heatran. They're either Sash or Shukaberry, one of the two, and they reveal HP Ice, which, yeah, so they're probably Sashed, right? What do you think?
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, it's one of the two. Yeah. But so that works out for us, guys. We bring in Slowbro here as they go for rocks. We get a Scald off, do 47. They do get the rocks up, but it's whatever. We go for a Toxic on the switch to Manaphy, which is great for us. Now we decide to go into Ferrothorn. I think we decided Ferrothorn, right? Because we were like, this is less useful than Chansey, for sure. Yeah. There's no body press.
Rain Dance. So
yeah, if it had Rain Dance, Chansey gets fucked up by Rain Dance, guys. So we didn't want to go out sad to that. Yeah, so goes for Tail Glow. They now go for Z Blizzard, or no, Z Hydro Vortex, sorry. It does 64%, which is so crazy seeing as we have Spadef EVs, right?
Yeah, but like, you know, plus 3
Yeah.
Z move.
Plus
so.
3 Z move, yeah. But that thing goes down. They go into Garchomp. They Mega Evolve, which we honestly did not even expect, right? When they did this.
I mean, like, it was the only possible.
It was the
Mega.
only
We also
possible
weren't really
Mega, but we were also like, who the
thinking
fuck uses Mega Chomp? So when Chomp Mega, I was like, oh shit. But it also makes sense, right? Because if you're going to run Sticky Web, you're going to run the strongest, slowest bullshit you can. And Mega Chomp fits right up that alley. They go for Earthquake here, which is a roll to kill us. Unfortunately, though, Ferrothorn's dumbass is not loyal, and he ends up dying, which is annoying. So we end up dying there. So here we bring in our Tapu Koko. Now, we have Z Dazzling Gleam, and this team has been used a couple times before in tournament, so we didn't know if they would know if it's Z Dazzle or not. So we wanted to double out in the Gliscor here. Because from our perspective...
like,
yeah, you
they
tell them.
should respect it. Like,
Yeah, they should respect the Z Dazzle. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it'd been used, this team had been used a lot, so like I thought they would probably just know it. But even if they didn't know it, I thought they would respect it and just like, you know, sack their Heatran or something like that.
Yeah, because this is more important, I figured, for them to keep. So we bring in Tapu Koko. We know if they do want to stay in though, we can go Gliscor and then take rocks first, but then heal off with the Toxic Orb, and our Gliscor has Defog. And if we can get rid of these rocks, we figure we can definitely win with our own Charizard or whoever just having a lot easier time to switch in. So we figure that even if we get this prediction wrong, it's not the end of the world, just because Gliscor will be able to heal and then take whatever Garchomp wants to go for afterwards.
Yeah,
so we go into Gliscor, right?
Covered literally everything because
Right.
it also lives like any like normal Chomp move.
Yeah.
Like Micro Meteor, Outrage.
Yeah.
whatever.
Anyways, they go for Aqua Tail.
And
Nice
that gets
nice max damage roll and kill our Gliscor. We were
Yeah, it was
fucking
actually
flabbergasted
like
at this kill
Near
too.
max roll.
This fucking max roll of fucking
Nasty.
Aqua Tail, man. Of course though, right? So they kill us with Aqua Tail, but that's a nasty Garchomp. Aqua Tail we did not expect. Thought it was gonna be Earthquake, Outrage, or whatever, Dragon Claw, Fire Fang. But Aqua Tail comes out, and then we end up losing Gliscor, which is tough. We bring in Koko again, and here we just go for it because there's no other play. But they just decide to sack their Garchomp. So here we were like, okay, that's good at least. The Garchomp's out the way. Gliscor goes down, but at least Chansey walls 3. But Bisharp is a Giga Threat. But Bisharp was always a Giga Threat.
Once the webs go up.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, the problem is losing the DeFi because now like Zard also. takes
Zard,
the
yeah,
rocks.
Zard easily checks Bisharp, but not with rocks up. Yeah. So we go for Calm Mind here, seeing as if they go for Earth Power, we live. Flamethrower, we live, and then we kill back with T-Bolt. We figure it's the pressure play, right? But they go for Roar, which is nasty, and the only move they could have. So look at this Heatran. Flamethrower, HP Ice, Stealth Rock, Roar. Nasty ass Kyurem White Heatran. Roars us out into, of course, Charizard. We go for what, Roost?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go for Roost. Sticky Web is really obvious here because they want to limit the Koko and the Zard, so we know we can Flare Blitz here because it's free. Now we switch out, right? Because we don't want to take the Stun Spore. Yeah, I'm pretty sure at least. Chansey comes in as they do go for the Stun Spore, so we get that turn right. Unfortunately, our Chansey doesn't have rocks, otherwise we would have just gone for it. Instead, we have to go for Sticky Web. Now, in comes Superior. We decide to go for the skill swap because, you know, that's how you stop Serp from doing that Leaf Storm bullshit. But they reveal Taunt, which makes sense, right? Because, you know, Sticky Web, you're going to have Taunt on at least one of your Pokemon, right? Anyways, we bring in Charizard X here. Rocks up, though. Make this quite an issue. Leaf Storm does 13%.
4 times resist.
4 times resist, though, is good. And also, we know here they're kind of forced to taunt, just because if they don't taunt, we're going to end up at more HP. I think plus 6.
This is obviously like a huge threat.
Yeah,
to them.
Zard's also like the last threat for them. So we just click Flare Blitz immediately, because we figure if we live the recoil, then, you know, we're in a fine position. But unfortunately, they're Helmet, right? Yeah, they're Helmet, but all Serps are Helmet, so we end up dying. So now it's 3-2. Heatran comes in as we bring in the Slow Brother. Slow Brother is obviously our play. Flamethrower here does 20%. We go for a Scald. We're going to be able to go for the Slack Off. We are Colbur, counter, Scald, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Slack Off again. Slack Off one more time, I think, just to get back to the fullest possible HP, because it's time to take on the Bisharp finally. We go for Scald. Knock that thing out. In comes the Bisharp. We go for a Scald here. It's on a balloon, which is interesting. We go for a Scald. If we burn here, we're good to go, but we don't get the burn. So now here, we're Colbur Berry, so we're thinking, okay, if they go for knockoff, they kill us. However...
No, we live.
We live, right, because of Colbur Berry. However, we should have just gone for Scald. Counter was definitely wrong.
I don't think it was wrong. Like, so I think it was basically like a situation where like if we scald, right, like you know, we need, like, it gives us odds, like obviously we can burn and or like crit, I guess, but then like it's still the like mind games afterwards if we don't get that. Whereas like with counter, right, like obviously we haven't revealed Colbert, but we have revealed that we're, and we also haven't revealed that we're like not helmet, right, like we could be reasonably be helmet. So yeah, like from that perspective, I was just thinking like he might not expect like the Colbert counter, right? And if like, so if we get the counter play right, we win on the spot, which Skull can only do like if it burns, right?
Yeah, we're
and
going
also,
for the burn.
Like,
yeah,
and also if we get this counter play wrong, we still have like Coco outspeeds Bisharp by 1 point in webs, so we still have that out.
Yeah. No, but looking back, I think we just should have scalded though, because it's better to go for the burn chance. I mean, I get what you mean though.
Yeah, I just mean like it wasn't objective, but like Scald maybe made more sense.
Yeah.
Like just because odds.
Yeah. But I think because we didn't get the burn, we're like, fuck it, we're not gonna burn. Let's just go for it. So now here we go into our Coco. Our Coco does have Roost, but we decide to make the Giga aggro play in first turn attack, but they just click Sucker Punch and knock us out. And unfortunately, our last Mon Chansey is going to die. So this game, we kind of just lost regularly. That's how it goes. That's how the series goes. So unfortunately, we end up going out 1-2, and we lose in the finals of the $1,000 Invitational. It was a good run. We had some amazing series. Can't really be too mad with the games or the teams we picked. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like, I mean, overall it was a fun tour. We had some like really crazy games. So
yeah, I mean the series, you guys got to go back and watch the quarters, the semifinals. This one again, we had some crazy games. All 3 games, especially the Generation 8 game and the Generation 9 game, were just super down to the wire altogether. This one was pretty fast.
Yeah, I mean this one literally came down to a 50-50.
Yeah, you're right. It's like it was awesome. It was awesome. The quality of the tournament we got to play in this, it was definitely dope. We hope you guys enjoyed. I haven't posted a tournament in a while. Shouts to Star for joining me. It took me a while to get this finals up, but it was just hard for us to coordinate and get it done. But finally, it's here. Congratulations to our opponents, Aldi and Sigma. They played a great series. They ended up going home with it. But yeah, can't really regret too much. I like the teams we picked. The games we played were a blast as well. And that's how it goes sometimes. So we'll be back for the next $1,000 Invitational, which we will be victorious in. But for now, we have to hold second place. Either way, guys, make sure you like this. We got to get this to 2,000 likes, 2,500 in fact, by tomorrow. Make sure you show some love in the comments. Let me know, what you want to see. Show some love to Star Master as well for joining me for this and the last video. Yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace. Star, say peace out to them.
Peace out.